What's going on, everybody? It's your pal Burrito Johnson, aka Cinema Burrito, coming at you with a list nobody asked for. Um, Actually, I'm gonna go through all my lists probably, but I think this one particularly is for the John Wick series, since I just saw the fourth one not too long ago. Oh, I guess the night before, right? Thursday. Was it 1 week ago? Saw it 1 week ago? Was it? Ah, man, time flies. So I recently had just gone through the John Wick series after not really watching them very much. So let me I'm on let me switch over to Letterbox, and we'll see if we could do some rankings here. You already see there's popular with my friends. People have been going through the John Wick series, so we could do that. Let me see. Here's my profile. Let's go through my profile. Look at mine. As you can see, my movies are very different. So I mean, listen, I could put a bunch of movies on this list, but I figured it's just gonna fill up really quick on my favorite films of all time. So let's go through these in no particular order. First one is gonna be Magnolia, The Apartment, Mass. If you guys haven't heard this movie, go watch that, man. This is such a good movie. And then Cool as Ice. I'm not gonna even take any arguments. I'm not even discuss that. Cool as Ice is one of the greatest films of all time. I will die on that hill. Here's my like I said, it's very sporadic. Like I watched My Neighbor Totoro, one of my favorite movies as a kid, and then like Tu Wong Fu because I haven't seen it since the '90s, and it was leaving Tubby in 3 days. King Ralph, come on, that's just a classic. And then Secondhand Lines, love that movie. I don't even care what anybody says. Secondhand Lines is a freaking tearjerker. I don't even give a crap what anybody says. It's basically like the Princess Bride, the Texas version of Princess Bride, essentially. But what we're really here for is lists. Let's see if I could create a list. Can I create a list? All right, log. All right, rank. Start a new list. There we go. As you can see, I've ranked Tarantino, P.T. Anderson, Lynch, and then for some reason I started a Criterion Collection, which I was adding stuff in there, which I probably should just delete because I'm kind of scaling back on some Criterions I buy. I'm not buying like a ton. I buy one or two at a time now. Let's start a new list. We'll call this Wick the Wick list. The Wick list. Or I could just be like John Wick, be boring, ranked. Let me see if I could do some John Wick. Can I spell it? Can I think I'm spelling his. I always get confused with his name. Is it Keanu with the E at the end, or is it Keanu with let's see, let me find that out. It is very early. I just woke up. Keanu. Okay, I always get confused. All right, we'll save that list. The public list must include at least one film. Well, no shit, bro. No shit. All right, John Wick. Let's add that. Import. I can import stuff. John Wick 2. Chapter 2. John Wick 3. John Wick. I probably should have done this already before. So let's see what happens when we save it. Profile. Here my list. Now can I? Okay, so I can edit it. All right, cool. All right. So I will go ahead and I mean, listen, the list is perfect. I mean, hell, I'll go through it right now. Because there's not a lot to go through. So my history with John Wick is I missed the first two in theaters. I'll be the first one to say this. I missed the first two in theaters. Back when Keanu Reeves wasn't doing too hot, really, if you think about it. He wasn't like the megastar he is now. He was basically doing some interesting things. Wasn't really making some hits. So everybody was like, "What's going on with Keanu Reeves?" And then, hey, you know what? Let's take this guy and make him an action star. Listen, I love Keanu Reeves. I've always loved Keanu Reeves. I think his role in Parenthood, 1988, 89, in Parenthood is probably the standout in that movie. Look up that movie. Around the time Bill and Ted came out, he was in Parenthood with Steve Martin. I think Rick Moranis, I think, was in it. Stuff like that. He was fantastic. Also, Keanu Reeves in the '90s, very underrated. I mean, listen, Speed is probably one of my favorite movies from Keanu Reeves. Listen, can't forget Point Break, man. I am an FBI agent. And I just saw Dracula the other day. Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, and listen, Keanu Reeves. I saw it in a movie theater with a sold out movie theater, and everybody basically was laughing every time he would talk in his horrible British accent. Again, listen, Keanu Reeves has never been the best actor, but he's also just everybody. America loves him, and I think he is doing way better now than ever. He's also a great guy, for crying out loud. He's very generous. You get online, you see all these stories about it. Also, if you want to follow me, my name is up here. You'll see it. If you want to just follow me, I post. I post as much. I've been watching a lot of movies lately, so my updates and my stupid little reviews are going to be there. Okay, missed the first two in theaters. I bought the first one in 4K. I think I Redboxed the second one. I watched the third one in theaters, and the last two in theaters. I be honest with you, when I first watched these, I thought they were okay. The first one I thought it was okay. The second one, for some reason, I thought it was okay. And I, when the third one came out, I fell asleep in it. I'm not even joking. This was like what, 4 years ago. So I don't know. This was like 4 years ago, and I'm like, so much action happened. I'm over here passing out. Goddamn, I'm old. So I decided many years later to just, because my girlfriend is a massive fan of John Wick. Like, she says it's one of her favorite action movie series of the franchise of all time, all that stuff. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm gonna rewatch them right, before John Wick 4. Thankfully, I think Peacock had them. I had the first one on Vudu because when I bought the first one, came with a digital code. That's basically the only one I owned. So, but they were all on Vudu, and I think they're all on Peacock right now. So if you want to watch it, unfortunately, for some reason, it's commercials. Even if you're paying for the non-commercial thing. So that's an interesting thing. It must be a licensing thing. Like you could have these on your streaming platform, but you must have commercials. So it's kind of annoying to go from action to stupid commercials. But thankfully, they're about 10 seconds long. It's not like that in a lot of cases. Some of these commercials are pretty damn long. They're getting longer and longer with these damn commercials. Okay, so John Wick 1. What was my review? Did I put my review on here? Let's see, review. I don't. Let's see. Profile. All recent activities. I forgot what I put. Anyways, John Wick, the first one, is revisiting it after many years is actually really freaking good. It's cool because you when I first saw it, you thought it was just going to be this small movie about basically Keanu Reeves getting revenge. But what I like about this movie, that John Wick, the first one, is that it kind of slowly opens up to what actually is happening. It's really this kind of opens up to a whole new, like, this underground world of what John Wick is part of. Like the Continental and all, where there's no violence and all that stuff, and the action is pretty damn great, man. It's cool because you could basically, Keanu Reeves does about 90% of his stunts. There's some shots that you could tell that it's not him, but for the most part, it's Keanu Reeves doing this, man. And at this point, he was what? almost 50, if I'm not mistaken, when this came out. So that, props to him. John Wick, it's not as small as people think. It's like a small little movie. I'm like, not really. It's pretty good. So John Wick, I would place it. I don't know why it's asking me. I would actually place John Wick. You know, um, let's see, John Wick. So here's the thing with what people. Let's see, edit. Where's the edit? Um, there we go. A lot of people claim the first one is the best one, which fine. The first one is great, but I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the list. I'm going to put that at the bottom. I probably should switch over. I basically moved John Wick from the top to the bottom. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be like, "What the hell are you talking about, man? That is not how it's. You need to put that higher. You need to put that. You need to put that higher on the list." But nah, I'm okay. I'll just, it's good, but god damn it, do they get better? So we're moving on to chapter. Here, let me save it. Let me go back out. Chapter 2. Um, I really liked it. Chapter 2. I For some reason, I when I first saw it, I was like, it's okay. It's not whatever. The series is kind of. But for some reason, just watching it after many years later, um, it's great. It's better than the first one. For some reason, I thought when I recently saw the first John Wick, I was like, oh, this is great. Nothing's gonna be better. Then the second one tops it for some reason. The action sequences, the whole scene with Common, because he's in there for a bit, and Keanu Reeves kind of chasing each other through a train station, but they want to do it silently. They're just the whole scene where they're just kind of shooting each other with their silencers and missing each other is pretty freaking hilarious. Because like, and what nobody's even noticing because they're shooting each other with silencers, having with the silencers. John Wick Chapter 2, fantastic film. I think it's an improvement over the second one, and therefore it's going to drop to the second to last spot. I guess that sounds so bad. Listen, no matter what spots these all end up, which, listen, it's pretty obvious where this is all going with the ranking. This in no means, just because John Wick's at the bottom of the list, this in no means that it's a terrible movie. It just means that these movies get more epic and epic and epic, that it just culminates into, the best one in the series that's I'm about to mention, which is obvious what's going to happen. Okay, so I don't know why I just put John Wick 4. So John Wick Chapter 2 is at the bottom. It's second to last. Let me hit save on that one, and let's move over to the next best one. So essentially, you see what's happening here. They basically get better and better and better from the first one up to the fourth one. John Wick Chapter 3. I fell asleep in. Listen, I may have been tired. I fall asleep in some crazy movies, man. I think I fell asleep in like Scream 5, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm an old man. I'm 40 now. I think I was like, 36 or something. Hey, listen, it was, I'm an old man. 36 is an old man. You can't be staying, especially get those reclining seats. Forget it, man. Forget it. What I liked about John Wick 3, which for some reason I was like, I don't remember it being great. I remember, like, again, I'm falling asleep in a movie theater. It's not keeping my attention. But the third one's great. I really like that it literally starts minutes after the second one. Basically, John Wick was excommunicado in the second one, and he's on the run. And it basically is nonstop action, man. This one, the third one, is the most, and I will stand by this. The third one is the most violent in the series, even more violent than the fourth one. You never thought that was possible, but the third one is goddamn violent, and it's awesome. I love it. The third one is the most violent one in the series, and I don't want to spoil some of the deaths. I mean, I think it's nuts. But this one truly felt like it went around, kind of left the area, left New York. And I don't remember too much if the other two left New York or not, but this kind of went elsewhere, to the table or whatever. He was trying to basically get his life back or something like that. And we're introduced to Halle Berry. And listen, the dogs in this one, Halle Berry's dogs wearing their little bulletproof vest jackets and stuff, are literally the star. Literally the star of this movie. And there's no CGI used. They use it all real and all that. That whole scene with the dogs, Halle Berry, John Wick kicking ass, is the standout of the whole series. But we can't forget Mark Dukakis. Is that his name? Mark Dukakis from Brotherhood of the Wolf. Hold on, I'm trying to. I try to make sure. I got to make sure his name is. I'm saying his name correctly. Mark Dacascos. Dacascos. Sorry. Anyways, he's great. He's great in this one. I just love how he's just being straight up, man. He's like, hey, man, I'm a real fan. I'm a real fan of yours. It's gonna sucks that I have to kill you. It's just like everybody, like the last 20 to 30 minutes of this movie is basically people out to kill him, and are like, hey man, hey, this is an honor. I don't know why people are messaging me. It's an honor to fight you, kind of thing. So it's like it's really really awesome. So therefore, John Wick is going to be, if I could remember, there we go. John Wick 3 is going to fall into second place in the series. Only because, again, the most violent, the most open that I feel like it has, like globetrotting, close to globetrotting this series is going to get, was going to get at that time. So I felt like it was awesome. I mean, everybody got it, everybody got involved. Even Lance Reddick, man, R.I.P. R.I.P. with Lance Reddick on that one, man. Even he was kicking ass in was it the second one? He kicked ass in the second one, if I'm not mistaken, or the third one. Everything blends in. The one thing about Lance Reddick, R.I.P., is it freaked me out because Lance Reddick passed away when I had just finished the third one, or was it the second one? And I was literally looking at his Wikipedia page, Lance Reddick, because he's been in everything, man. If you played Destiny, you're gonna. If you played Forbidden, Horizon, Verizon, Hidden West, or Verizon, whatever, the Eloy game, he's in it. Listen, he's been doing a lot of stuff. He was a fantastic actor. Lost, The Wire. He's been in a lot of great stuff. And I was literally looking at his Wikipedia page when I scrolled over to Twitter, social media, and found out he died. And I'm like, oh God, what did I do? Did I just kill Lance Reddick? Am I bad luck or something? So that was just weird. I got to give a shout out to Ian McShane. Playing Winston, basically one of the concierge or whatever. He plays the head honcho of one of the hotels, the Continental in New York City. He's pretty awesome. Good Lord, he's great. Yeah, so let's move over to the best one in the series. Let me save this damn list. The best one in the series, spoiler alert, surprise, surprise, is John Wick Chapter 4. And that just goes to show that this series, I listen, it's very rare that part 4 of any franchise, series, or whatever is the best. I mean, listen, if you want to include Leprechaun 4 in space, which in my opinion is the best one in the series, I mean, it's true to this. The fourth one is the best in some of these series. Sometimes some of these, the fourth one is too much, loses steam. I mean, listen, Toy Story 4, for example, they're in the same boat, just as violent. No, they're not. For some, they should, just like Toy Story 3, they should have ended it. It had a perfect everything, and then for some reason, hey, let's make a fourth one. Which kind of like, nobody, we didn't, it would have been fine if we wouldn't have gotten a Toy Story 4. But again, people were like, do we need a John Wick 4? But it made sense because we he didn't really wrap everything up in the third one. He was still, you know, had unfinished business with the table and all that stuff. So here comes John Wick 4, which was delayed about a year, which is nuts. So just Shazam and John Wick and all the four were all delayed for over a year, and we finally got to see it. So John Wick 4, it is great. It is fantastic. It is epic. It is non-stop action. But here's the thing. It actually takes a while before it gets going. I guess the non-stop action starts at the 20 something minute mark. We are in Tokyo or Osaka or something like that. We're basically in the Japan's version of the Continental. I guess every country will have a Continental, every city or whatever. And we're in and a lot of I've heard a lot of people say this. We were too long in Japan, but I disagree. It was great. Listen, if you're gonna roll out a 3 hour movie, I want to feel like I am going on an adventure. So, the Japan scenes were great. There's a lot of action, and then we move around. We move around all over, and basically John Wick is just going around trying to get. There's a lot he's doing. There is a lot he's doing in John Wick 4, and that thus the 3 hour runtime. But 30 to 45 minutes is spent in Tokyo, which a lot of people will say, hey, that's too much. They'll listen to them. I mean, listen, you could always say, yeah, you're right, and it is, but I felt like it was the right amount of time. Um, I the This one is not as violent, but some of the set pieces are great. There's a really cool scene in Paris in that roundabout where cars are driving, people they're just fighting and getting people are getting hit by cars. Even John Wick's getting hit by cars. And here's the thing, and I do understand, and I will agree with this criticism that basically they're saying John Wick is unstoppable force because he's getting hit, he's falling, he's getting hit by cars, and he's getting up like nothing happened. So is he like a machine or something? Which that's fine. But every character in this movie is awesome, and the standout is Donnie Yen. Honestly, if I'm this is probably going to be a controversial take on this movie. Donnie Yen is stood out even more than John Wick, even more than Keanu Reeves. Donnie Yen was great. I think it would be great to have him a spin-off, a spin-off of this one, since I know there's going to be an all-female spin-off or a TV series or something like that in the John Wick universe. But Donnie Yen needs to have his own series or his own, at least one movie with him. I think it would be awesome. I just think it's funny that he keeps playing blind, swordsmen or assassins or fighters or whatever, which is pretty hilarious because in Rogue One he was blind. So I don't know. I guess hey, hey Donnie, we got a new role for you, but it's blind. Okay, all right. But he plays it great. The standout for me in the action sequences is towards the end. There's two sequences towards the end. One where it basically he's going through a shootout in this building, and it basically turns into like Hotline Miami or like a video game. It basically does a top down, so the camera slowly points down, and it's like a one take where the camera's just following Keanu Reeves through rooms, and that was pretty cool. It was kind of short. I get it. It's pretty complex to do, but it did it twice in the same scene. It would do that for a couple minutes and cut back to them doing stuff, and then it would do that again. Really good. The you could tell that this director, Chad Stahelski, I think I'm saying his name right, got better and better and better. Listen, he was a stuntman. This movie is directed by a stuntman, so he absolutely knows how to just do it. And again, I still think it's criminally stunt performance is criminally overlooked at the Academy Awards. We need to actually add one, for crying out loud. Best stunt quarter, whatever. it needs to be done soon. It's ridiculous that some of these guys are not being awarded for an Academy Award, because some of these stunts are nuts. So that scene, and then there's a scene in some stairs going from the bottom to the top, because John Wick needs to get somewhere before a certain time, or else something bad happens. So he's trying to get up these stairs, and of course, the whole fucking world, he has a bounty on his head, whatever. The whole world is trying to get to him. So he basically has to fight people up and down these stairs. He keeps getting to the top, then getting knocked to the bottom, to the top of the bottom. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, it was good. Bill Sarsgaard is pretty good. He's an okay bad guy in the fourth one. There's really not have been any Mark Dacascos. Basically, if I'm saying that, the Dacascos is probably my favorite bad guy, only because he was just funny and he was hilarious. He was just a big fan of John Wick, essentially, and he's just like, oh, sorry, it sucks that I have to kill you. But Chapter 4, the less violent one, not at the less violent one, but it's not the most violent one. It's actually, is it the most epic one, most globe trotting? Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't feel the 3 hour runtime. Listen, it's less than 3 hours, but it's 2 hours and 60 minutes or something like that. Almost 2 hours and yeah, plus trailers and stuff like that. You're going to be in the theater for well over 3 hours, which for some reason I didn't mind. If I'm being honest with you, I was getting sleepy at the beginning, only because it was kind of slow. But once it kind of picked up, and I was like, whoa! I perked up, man. Funny enough, my girlfriend doesn't think she liked this one, which I guess that just goes to show you our different views on the John Wick. She really likes the other ones. She thought this one may have been a little too big, which I get. But I thought it was the best one in the series. So there you go. So there's there's my overly long explanation on or thoughts and reviews, mini reviews, convoluted reviews of John Wick series, John Wick ranked. So and I think I totally did this wrong, right? Did I do these wrong? So is it? Wait, is it okay? I think I totally messed up. So is it? Does this mean that it's? Is that what it means? Oh, okay. Anyways, I guess I thought that if you put these at the top, I guess that means that it's whatever. Anyways, so that's my. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do a damn video. There we go. It updated. It updated finally. It was showing. It was showing the other way around. Anyways, that's my review. If you guys want to see me do any more reviews, talk a bunch, not just keep going and going and going, and not shut the hell up. Let me know, or you could just say, hey, shut the hell up. You talk too much. That's fine. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go through with Tarantino next, because he just turned the big 6-0. So that'd be kind of cool to go through a list of his movies, because my lists are varied from other people. I used to think for many years that Pulp Fiction was the greatest movie of all time and his best movie. Over the years, as I got older, not the case anymore. But that'll be for another video. Until next time, guys, keep watching movies.